Hey guys, welcome back to East Texas Living with Wana Crouch and National Agent Network. And we are continuing our visit with Aaron Farmer, the broker for National Agent Network of East Texas. Aaron, we've already talked a lot about the market, and we've talked a lot about what the market was even like in 2008. And made some comparisons and contrasts there. I'd like to really pick your brain about some of the biggest mistakes that people are making today, both on the buyers and the sellers.
Yeah, I think on the seller side, I think I'm definitely overpricing your house, thinking you can negotiate down. When the statistics show all the time, you can pull original list price to closed list price statistics all the time. In fact, they come up in my CMA when I do it, and it's sometimes it's less than 1 or 2%. It's usually averages around 3% that a seller negotiates down. So if you've got a $300,000 house, a seller's not negotiating any more than around $9,000 off the price of their house, and that's what the statistics show. But a lot of times, a seller will come in with a $300,000 house and they'll say, "I want to price it at $315,000 so I can negotiate down." Well, that's not the right mindset.
Definitely not in this market.
Yeah, you definitely want to get, and if it were me, I would say let's price it right at $300,000, and let's go ahead and do a lot of these things that we've recommended to you to get the house ready to show and to sell, and let's just drive a hard bargain and stay really close to our $300,000, and maybe come off a couple thousand.
Yeah, because I think sellers have that misunderstanding or misconception that they can, I'm going to start higher because I know buyers are going to come in and ask for me to come off of that price. And I just recently saw statistics that said that over 70% of homes that are listed on the MLS are actually selling below the asking price. But you also have to remember that we're in more of a buyer's market rather than a seller's market. And so it is really important for sellers to price their home well to begin with, because then you're going to have a better chance of not having to come down as much. Because sometimes if you're priced really well and a buyer needs help towards closing costs, help buying down rates, and those types of things, those buyers, because you're already priced really well, they might even be willing to actually build some of that back into the price and offer you a little bit more than what you're asking for, just so that it can help to cover some of the costs that they have.
Absolutely. And on the buyer side, just thought of a scenario that just happened this weekend. I was showing a home to a really good friend of mine going all the way back to college, and her husband. The house was vacant. It was listed for $2 million house. The seller walks in. I guess he didn't know that we were showing it, and so now we have a seller and a buyer interaction. I'm sitting here watching a buyer and a seller talking to each other, and her says something. I'm cringing. I don't say that. She said something like, "Oh, we're really anxious to move," or something like that.
Right.
Something like showing motivation, which I know they're not even really motivated. But I'm cringing at what she says, and then the seller says a few things, and I'm kind of cringing like, "Who's your agent? I'm not saying that either." And that's
because you're kind of giving away some of your
and my buyers were actually kind of interested. They were intrigued by the house, but then after talking to the seller, they weren't interested. They just all the interest went away. And I think there was a small chance that they would have wanted to make an offer.
Right. So many times buyers and sellers, it is an emotional thing for them. And part of what we do is try to take that emotion out so that we can really help them accomplish their goals. They were giving up a lot of negotiating power if they really were interested in that home. And a lot of times they don't realize, they think they're helping.
Yeah, I mean, that was a complete case study right there that I got to watch firsthand of why buyers and sellers shouldn't talk to each other. And that's why
I've had very similar situations happen too, to where you lose, you give up all of your ability to negotiate, and in this market, especially for buyers, you have a lot of negotiating power.
Absolutely.
And because we are seeing sellers that are willing to pay more in concessions, and sellers that I had one recently that the buyers actually needed help with a buy down rate. They also needed to pay off some debt at closing. and the sellers were, willing within reason to do some of those things.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, you don't want to give up your negotiating power at all.
I mean, it's definitely, whether you think, what a real estate transaction is, it's ultimately a business.
Yes.
And that's the power that an experienced realtor and their team can save you or make you a lot of money.
Yes.
And I love to talk about times that I've saved my clients just in the negotiation of repairs during the option period.
Oh, yeah.
On both sides. I've more than earned my fee on tons of transactions, both ways, as a buyer's agent and as a listing agent, helping my clients save during that.
What do you think the biggest mistakes are for sellers besides overpricing their home? What about the way that our new contracts are written? Because I've seen with the way that we have to handle compensation now for buyer's agent, I've seen a lot of sellers start thinking in their head that they don't have to pay anything.
Right.
I think that's a big mistake because they have always included that in the transaction. And I know it's new and it's different, and so everybody's still kind of trying to figure it out.
Yeah, well, we haven't talked completely about my past, but I've had a lot of conversations with the Department of Justice in 2024. They called me before this was going to come out, and they didn't tell me exactly what was going on, but they asked me about the whole compensation model and who pays the fees. And we were talking a lot about fees, and I said, well, you really have to get it out of your head is either the buyer or the seller pay the what side of the ledger it's on, what side of the settlement statement that the commission's on. It's really the transaction pays the commission. It doesn't matter, because if you think about it, if the buyer wasn't buying the property, there's not going to be a commission. The sellers get it in their head that, well, I'm paying all this commission. Without this buyer, there's no commission at all. So is the buyer really paying the commission, or is the seller? I mean, it's a kind of rhetorical question that I've gone back and forth with for decades, with people. And the real answer is the transaction pays.
See, that makes.
If you get it out of your head that, oh, I'm the seller, I'm paying the commission, or I'm the buyer, I'm paying the commission. Really, it's the transaction.
It's the transaction. I kind of always explained it that it's like two sides to the same coin.
Yeah.
Because yes, the sellers are paying that from out of their proceeds, but the buyer is also wrapping that into the sales price. Yeah. And so it really is, that's a really good way to put it, is that it really is the transaction.
And on top of that, you look at, probably 80 or 90% of the real estate transactions are in MLS, right? And you have those comps, and the commissions are priced into those comps, so when you're getting comps, that whatever that commission rate is, and we're not talking commissions, but if it's 2% or 5% or 6% or 10%, that's priced into the comps that you're looking at.
Exactly.
The commissions are built in.
They are built in to those very comps that you're looking at, whether you're looking at them for a buyer or a seller. Absolutely. Either one. And people don't always realize too, I mean, compensation has always been negotiable. Yeah. And I mean, that's something that I've always appreciated about you and our brokerage and the way that you do business is, I mean, it's always been that way. And you even have a little bit of history. Yeah.
I mean, I've always told my agents, and from beginning, especially with National Agent Network, is that our agents have the freedom and the flexibility to run the business their way. And I've always allowed our agents to be flexible with the commissions. Yeah. And that's what differentiated us a lot, and still does. There's still a lot of brokers out there that are definitely like, we charge this, and you're not allowed to do anything less.
To do anything
different. And that's okay. That's not illegal. It's not against the law. It's our company has a policy.
It's the company policy. Right. And that's what I love about it. And really, I mean, even with us here in East Texas, every single one of our agents does something a little different.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they are able to find kind of a niche that works well for them, and they're able to operate their business in a way that works great for them and works great for their clients. And I love having that diversity.
Yeah.
think it's
Absolutely.
really good. Awesome. Well, good deal. Well, thanks for joining us today, and y'all stay tuned because I think we have one more episode coming for y'all.